This is All of It. I'm Allison Stewart, live from the WNYC studios in Soho. Thank you for sharing part of your day with us. I'm really grateful that you're here. On today's show, we'll hear live music today from saxophonist David Sanchez. His new album is called Tembo. We'll kick off the All of It Summer Reading Challenge. Producer Jordan Loft joins me to talk about the details. But this hour, we devote to plays about women. In about 30 minutes, we'll talk with the actors Fia Saban, Lydia Wilson, and Yaren Ha. She'll join us to talk about their roles in The Maids. But let's get this started with Girls Chants Music. In a play at the Vineyard Theater, we meet 4 teenagers who are enrolled in a prestigious summer music program. These girls may have difficulties in the outside world, but in the music room, they share, they bond, sometimes they fight. And yes, they play music, sometimes improvise, sometimes ethereal, always emotional. Plus, they are teenagers with all the angst and joy that comes with a period in one's life when you have a chance to figure out who you are going to be. And it's that chance part that can be a little sticky. The play is called Girls Chants Music. It is playing at the Vineyard Theater through June 21st. Joining me now is its playwright and composer, Eisa Davis. It is always nice to see you.
It's so great to see you.
And 2 of the actors, Hilary Fisher and Naomi Latta. Thank you, Naomi Latta. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
Thank you for having us.
So, Eisa, this is set in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
a music program. How much of this is based on your experience?
It's not autobiographical. It's not even autofiction. It's purely invented, but filled with the inspiration that I had as a kid growing up in the Bay Area and going to a music program that was all genders. You know, I made this one a Girls Plus program, but it's just filled with all of the love of all of the different kinds of music that I got to study. It's the place that really created this formative experience for me, taught me a relationship to music that I feel is really sacred, and just gave me a real reverence for all of the ways that you can create music.
Hilary, you went to Fiorello LaGuardia High School of Music and Art.
I did.
What did you get from that experience that you could channel into your character in Girls Chants Music?
You know, it's funny. I had some friends come to the show from LaGuardia, and I was really hoping that the play would affect them in the way that it's affected me. And, you know, we're all artists and we study different things, but some people are just leaning a little bit more into their art and some people aren't. And I'm just, well, first of all, I get to sing classical music in the play, and I would not have been able to do that if it wasn't for LaGuardia. I trained in classical voice. I couldn't decide whether to do drama or vocal, but I was like, I know I'll get into the vocal department. So I chose that one. So that's been really interesting. And also all of the relationships. I mean, we were a very social group, and also it was related to music. So a lot of times people would be popular just because of their art, or people would be popular because they were cool in school. And I just feel like when I read this play, I was like, this is my experience in so many ways. So,
Naomi, did you have any kind of experience with this kind of program?
No. I was in a number of music programs through a regular high school. I was in the band. I did choir a little bit later in high school. But no, I never had that like concentrated musical experience. I kind of found that more like that outlet arena outside of school. And then so it is kind of nice, though, to relive those years as if I did go, knowing, you know, having everything I have now. It's like I'm doing it now. This is my music program.
Naomi, how would you describe your character, Margot?
Oh my gosh. I feel like she is someone who has learned to use her words in spite of herself, kind of like she was raised to censor herself and her emotions that she feels too deeply, in quotes, which is, you know, that's not true. No one feels too deeply about anything. But I think she's someone that's very wounded and realized through experience that I don't have to talk, I'll just play. And that, you know, that's the outlet thing that's what I connected to when I read the script for the first time. And it took someone who really saw through all of those layers to rip it open in Hillary's character.
Hillary, can you describe Fax for me?
Ooh, okay. I think a line that really helps me describe Fax is, I want to do well. And I feel like Fax is very determined. She's very affected by the people around her and the relationships, and she's very focused. And she has a lot that she's figuring out. I feel like Fax really just wants to get it right.
Eisa, can you describe the other two characters who are in the play?
Yeah, so there's a character named Ryle who's played by Yenna Sung, and Ryle is a pianist who is a little bit tired of just doing the classical repertoire and wants to really expand into doing more improvisational, more avant-garde jazz. And then Jana Di Gregorio Rivera, we call her Gia, they play the character of Clementine, who in some ways is, sort of beyond all of the Sturm und Drang of the rest of the students at the school that we see depicted. And is just there to practice music because that's her day, and she just kind of gives us a sense of what is outside of all of the drama that's happening between that triangle of three.
I have to ask you, how did you come up with these names? Clementine, Fax, Margot, and Ryle.
What a question, because it's sort of just like, why do you even write what you do?
Yeah.
I feel like there's just a real level of channeling, and I can't quite describe it. It's a mixture of things that you could easily find in an empirical way if you looked around at my life. Oh, she observed that from this relationship or from this dynamic. But I really feel that my work as a playwright and as a composer and just in general is just listening. It's just deep listening and trying to get it down. Whether it's waking up with a piece of music that I just try to get into my voice memos right away, or really feeling that there are maybe even sort of ancestral or teachers that, I can't necessarily say that's exactly what this is, but I really just try to write it all down, as my mentor, Adrienne Kennedy, says. Like, that's the most important thing, is just try to get it down, like all the things that you're hearing.
We were discussing the play Girls Chants Music, playing at the Vineyard Theater near Union Square. It's a story of a summer spent with 4 girls in a gifted music program. Our guests today are playwright Eisa Davis and actors Hilary Fisher and Naomi Latta. It is running through June 21st. Naomi, Margot, and Fax, they are very different, but they do bond for a time in the play. Won't give anything away. What do you see as the source of their bond?
I think the source of their bond is this sort of, I try not to do without spoiling anything. I think they both inherently crave freedom, and they're just kind of shackled by different things. And even though they're too young to really put labels on that yet, they just see it. It's that human nature thing, that animalistic thing, when you can just see someone who you know sees you, and that scares you. But what happens when you lean into that? And I feel like the drama of leaning into it instead of backing away is what makes good storytelling. Eisa wrote that all down.
Hillary, we get glimpses into what's going on in the characters' lives outside of the music room. When you think about it, what detail is important for you as an actor to understand your character a little bit of what's going on in her life outside of the music room?
I think a lot of it is in the way that my character connects with the other characters in the play. I feel like I learn a lot about the backstory based on how they show up. And it's really fun for me to read a play, especially this play, because I feel like the characters are a bit archetypal. So I feel like when I'm reading something, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know who this girl is. And I feel like that really helped. And then I feel like the details kind of just add a little bit of shading into it. And it was really fun coming up with and adding to the things that I've already read. So, okay, I have this relationship with my brothers, or this is what my family life is like. And I feel like based on how Fax reacts to everyone else in the play, I can kind of fill that in and add my own backstory as well.
Can I just add something
Sure.
about when you said freedom, Naomi? I was thinking this morning about how there's just this tension between discipline and freedom. And that is, the tension in how is it that we're going to make music? Are we going to have this real rigor? Or are we going to have this like total risk taking? And I was thinking about how, Esther Perel, the psychologist, and talking about what makes healthy eroticism. And it's a mixture of having that safety and having that danger. And that is the kind of dynamic that happens between these two characters.
Totally. They have really different margins of error that they allow themselves, but I feel like they both have both. They're just different ranges of it.
Yeah.
Now, someone who's seen the logo for the program will realize that it should be girls, girls, chance, chance, music, music. Is what title should be. Could you explain this to people?
Well, yeah, and you get it because you're a music head and you play piano. So there are repeat signs in the title, which means that, inside of the repeat signs, you have to say the word twice. And I was just telling them that, we kind of broke the algorithm with ads because, the algorithm had no idea what to do with those symbols. So, we just think about the play as having all of these different points of interface. Like, if you're a music head, you know that those are repeat signs, and you would say girls, girls, chance, chance, music, music. But if you're just reading it and you're not part of that discipline, then you would just say girls, chance, music, and both of those are fine. But I think it also goes to, the title goes to the importance of chance itself, of experimentation. The audience creates a melody when they come into the theater that we then use on stage to improvise with. And that's also a huge influence of the play is the pianist Craig Taborn, who just recently won a MacArthur, really talks about improvisation as spontaneous composition. And I think that that's something that's, really crucial for these characters to talk about and learn as young students.
We're talking about the play Girls Chance Music, or Girls, Girls, Chance, Chance Music, playing at the Vineyard Theater. We'll have more after a quick break. This is all of it. You're listening to All of It on WNYC. I'm Allison Stewart. We're discussing the play Girls Chance Music, playing at the Vineyard Theater near Union Square. It's the story of a summer spent with 4 girls in a gifted music program. Our guests today are playwright Eisa Davis and actors Hilary Fisher and Naomi Latta. It's running through June 21st. We got a text that said, I saw the show on Saturday. Really the best play I've seen in years.
Oh my God.
Wow. That's an exciting text
Yes,
to get.
it is.
So let's get to the play a little bit about the subject of it. First of all, you play drums, Naomi, in the play. Did you play drums before you joined this play?
No.
Yeah! Whoa!
Mic drop. So, I mean...
Well, you do now.
I do now. I definitely Margot plays, and when I Margot, I play. But, I mean, I'll take any excuse to give Eisa compliments and the whole team that's like behind this play because, basically I auditioned for Fax at first. I bombed my audition. I just thought I would like surprise them and play a bunch of instruments that I hadn't touched in too long. And I told them that before starting. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I started and I just thought I'd wipe the whole, I just thought I'd laugh about this someday. Which I guess we are. But then they reached back out and they had me read for what ended up being Margot, and they offered to have me learn the drums for the workshop that we had in November 2025. And then the rest was her story.
So what's Margot's preferred method for playing drums?
Preferred method.
Interesting.
I think her preferred method... It depends on what her love language would be, which I guess I leave that ambiguous because it changes definitely with who she's talking to and what mood she's in. I would just anything. She'll find any medium to play on. It's just whatever she wants to communicate and how she can without using without using words.
Yeah.
Fax is a classically trained singer. When it
Yes.
comes to performing, what is the best day for her and what would be the worst day for her?
Ooh, I think the best day is when she's feeling creative and free, which, hasn't happened very often, especially as the play starts. And so I feel like it's really a mind thing for Fax as opposed to how it all comes out.
And for Ryle, I'm going to ask you to stand in for Ryle, Eisa.
Yeah.
She stirs things up a bit. How does
Yeah.
she stir things up?
Well, their real desire is for belonging. And they don't feel that they have a place in this dyad between Margot and Fax. And so they're trying to, angle themselves in there. And the way that they do that is through learning about music, trying to impress them with their knowledge of music, and just with their dogged persistence, And then, I think it's not too much of a giveaway to say that, their character grows up to become a film composer. So, that's the thing when I'm sitting here with these incredible performers and, the two that aren't in this room, Pam McKinnon, the director, and I, Pam also is the person who commissioned this play and made it happen. We just were like, how can we find people who can three-part, can be teenagers, can be great actors, and can be incredible musicians. And it's really wild that we were actually able to find people who could do that and also be great people, So there's a real joy, and probably why your friend sent that text, and just being able to see that much talent just explode on stage.
Oh,
That's
that wasn't
what
a
I
friend.
love.
That was a listener.
That was a listener?
That's a listener who's listening to us right now.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Even better. What did Pam McKinnon tell you or direct you that you're able to use every night, Hillary?
Oh, man. There's so many things. I think Pam is such a trusting director, and I think that's a big gift. When I'm working something out, there's a moment of silence when I bring up an issue, and and it's really powerful before she says something incredibly profound.
Yeah.
And there will be little snippets of phrases that I use every day from notes with Pam, and as opposed to just telling me what to do in that moment, it's just a phrase that I can just tell she pulled out of nowhere. I'm like going through my Rolodex in my head, but she has a gift of giving us a phrase that is a summary of something that we're going through.
Wait, what about the lava?
Oh my gosh!
Remember that was a huge insight for me.
Yeah.
Do
It
you
was
want to say that?
Well, I feel like that also relates to the armor. The fact that the language is our armor, and we're feeling everything like lava right underneath. I think about that every day. Yeah.
What is something that Pam taught you, Naomi, or told you about your character that you're able to use every night?
Hillary actually stole my answer, but I was going to say her biggest piece of advice for our first SF run, or a San Francisco run, was that the writing is the armor, the language are the walls they build up. So you as the actor don't need to do any of that. Let the language speak for itself, which leaves us very, maybe for lack of a better word, naked. And I think that alone, it's what Hillary said it's a summary of so many things that she can just encompass in that, of find a way to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's where the tension comes. You don't have to find the tension out of nowhere. It will happen, and just trust that it's going to happen and be okay with teetering on that with the fire under you.
Yeah.
Eisa, this originally was produced on the West Coast.
Yeah.
How much has the play changed over time?
Ooh, such a great question. Like I said, Pam commissioned it back in 2018 when she first was stepping into the artistic directorship at ACT in San Francisco. And then this is the last thing she's doing as she's outgoing there. But it started with just write a play about the Bay. And I thought about this school. And then we had, I think, something like 6 processes with different actors, over those 8 years, off and on. And so much has changed even between us doing it in March and April in San Francisco to here. I was able to just watch the actors and listen to them and sort of see, well, what is the play needing from them? What is the play itself trying to say? And so we did a lot of restructuring. I added scenes. I combined some scenes. And the music, though, I think pretty much stayed the same, right? Mm-hmm. And that's also, again, I think it's all about like big ups to Pam for having that sense of trust and just saying, you know what you're doing. And keep listening to the play, and the play will tell you, what needs to happen. And we have these incredible partners at the Vineyard, who also are co-commissioners of this play. And, one of the reasons why it's there, Sarah Stern is artistic director, but Daryl Roth and Paula Vogel, the playwright, I don't think I would have a career as a playwright if she hadn't plucked up my play, Bull Rusher, and gave it, its Pulitzer finalist status. And that is the reason why I even had a commission at the Vineyard to begin with. So, yeah.
I want you to explain something to me because I came in just before the curtain went up.
Yeah.
The songs that the girls sing, that the pianist plays, that's created by the audience.
Right.
Explain that to people.
Yeah. So there's something called a tone row, 12 tones on a piano. And what the audience does is they come up to a board in the lobby, and then each person chooses a different note on those 12 keys. And then Cello, our stage manager, takes the board.
That's what I saw. This person just like taking this board out. I was like, where's he going with that?
Yeah. So Cello takes it down. They put it on the piano. And then the actors use that melody that the audience has created and sing it, play with it throughout the show. So that's an element of chants, a kind of chants music that is incorporated, and it's different every night.
Have you ever gotten anything that's kind of tough to sing?
Yes.
But
it's so fun because when I mess it up, I'm using that in the scene. And when I get it right, I'm using it in the scene. So it's really fun.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a couple questions that aren't about this play?
Yes.
All right. Naomi, last night, were you at Filipinos on Broadway?
Yeah.
You performed in that last night, right?
I did.
All right. So tell us how that went and how did it go?
Oh, thank you for asking. It went well. Well, I just think it's such, I feel like we're all craving community right now. And it's such a privilege to have had that and have this show that really empowers queer women of color. And then on my day off, I get to go hang out with people that could be my family.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the Philippines in like 10 years. And so to kind of have that and sing all the songs we all know, karaoke, there's just so many things that kind of bring my heart rate back down, in our very troubling times. Mm-hmm. But, it was fun. It was just fun.
Hillary, you played Ariel, yes?
I did, yeah.
What other Disney character would you like to play?
Oh my gosh. What? Ariel was like, that was the one, I'm telling you. I mean, I've played a lot of princesses and I love playing a princess. I would play Tiana. I think she's so fierce. Wow. Yeah, I think that'd be my choice.
And Eisa, it was just announced that Warriors is going to Broadway.
That's like a leak, but that's like a rumor.
Is it true-ish?
I mean,
truthiness?
It's like, when I know, you'll know kind of thing. It's sort of like we're just in that process of like finalizing everything because we're going into workshop this summer. That's what we're doing. And we're just trying to figure out what the calendar will be precisely. But again, that was the first time I got to hang with you was to come in here and talk with Lynn. And of course, we're very excited for that. And I'm excited. We're doing an event at Girls Chance Music tonight with Maestra, that organization for
nice.
women and non-binary folks in music. And, it's just really crucial to me, and I feel like this play really says it, that women have visibility as music makers, and that's what we should be doing is just really being able to see that, we can make music just as well as, the masculine principle.
That was a good pivot. Let's say the rumor has some wind at its back. We'll put it that way.
Yes.
We're discussing the play Girls Chance Music, playing at the Vineyard Theater near Union Square. My guests have been Eisa Davis, actors Hilary Fisher and Naomi Latta. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Allison.
So
Come see the
much.
show.